Well, good morning, Salina First family. I just wanted to make a video to remind you of what this week is and how to potentially prepare your heart. Nothing fancy, just hopped up to the digital media room, but this video is really just for our church family, and I wanted to just remind you that as you enter into Holy Week this week, the week where it started with Palm Sunday yesterday and ends with the empty tomb of Easter in just 6 short days, I really want to encourage you to prepare your heart, prepare your soul to give more time and reflection to your walk with the Lord than maybe you normally would. This week, we have multiple worship opportunities for you. Of course, we have Wednesday night activities that you can join in. My Bible study is been working through a video series and will again this coming Wednesday as it kind of leads us to the cross of Good Friday. On this Thursday, our sister church, Mount Tabor, will be hosting a Maundy Thursday service where they celebrate a foot washing ceremony. That's at 7 p.m. and is open to any Salina First Church of God or Church of God people in general. So you can head up there on Thursday if you want to at 7 p.m. We will host our own Good Friday service, as we have for many years now, at 6:30 this coming Friday. That is a family-friendly service in a sense. We'll be talking about the cross. There's nothing gory or anything crazy there, but we'll be talking about the cross. Kids are welcome, but we don't have any childcare. That's why I say it's family-friendly. So this coming Friday, 6:30 to 7:30, we will be taking communion. And then Easter, we have 2 services, 8:30 and 10 o'clock. Now, if you don't care which one you come to, I'd encourage you to maybe come to the 8:30 because people with kids tend to come to the 10 o'clock. That's where we kind of go all out for our kids ministry. 8:30 is more of a large group activity, but there is kids ministry, everything for both services. But if you don't really care and you want to free up a seat at the 10 o'clock, because that's when most visitors or guests will come, please join us at the 8:30 service for Easter Sunday. The services themselves are the exact same, 8:30 and 10 a.m. this coming Sunday. The reason we're doing 2 is we just won't fit in one. As you were around this past Sunday, we're, by the grace of God, just have a lot of folks around, and so we praise God for that. As far as your own personal spirit, I want to encourage you to spend time in the Word this week. I want to encourage you to spend time in prayer this week. Maybe something you could try this week is a season of fasting, or a day or 2 of fasting. For one meal, maybe it's 24 hours, whatever that looks like for you. I've found fasting to be a healthy spiritual activity, and fasting is mentioned in the Bible nearly as much as prayer, yet we don't talk about it as much because none of us like to be hungry. So when we fast, we forego food, so whether maybe breakfast or lunch or dinner, or maybe all 3, depending on what the Lord leads you to, but we fast for a very specific reason, so that our hunger would remind us of a spiritual hunger we're to have for God. We remove from our life an essential element, food, in order to better seek and find God in our life. And sometimes there's a spiritual reality that we can't quite fully put our finger on of what fasting can fully provide for us. But Jesus says to his disciples that some demons are only cast out through prayer and fasting. So there's some type of spiritual reality that maybe we fully don't even understand that fasting provides to us, some type of spiritual clarity, some type of, dare I say, power that can come from fasting, that as we clear ourselves of other necessities, which is food, and we just focus in on the Lord, what that can provide. So I'm going to try and fast at least once this week from at least one meal, maybe more, just to try and better seek the Lord. And I encourage you to join me in that. But maybe you don't feel called to that, but you want to make sure that you're here for a Good Friday service, or you're going to head up to Tabor on Thursday for a Maundy Thursday service, or you're going to come for sure on Easter Sunday. Maybe you want to wake up just 5 minutes earlier and spend time with God in prayer. I used to have a coworker who would roll out of bed and she'd have a towel right next to her bed, so she would drop right to her knees and start the day in prayer on her knees next to her bed. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you just want to spend an extra 10 minutes in the evening reading the scriptures. And if you do, I encourage you to go into the gospel accounts and start looking at the final days of Jesus' life. Read about the Last Supper. Read about the cross. Read about the resurrection, and have these scriptures saturating your soul this week. We celebrate the cross that we call good because of what it bought for you and I. And we look to the empty tomb of Easter and remark, who is this man that even death couldn't hold him down? And we grapple with those truths. And I pray that this week is not just a normal week for you. As your pastor, I desire it to be a holy week where you have an encounter with God in your day-to-day, and that you come with the church and we all worship the risen Jesus Christ together. So I hope we see you at some point this week. I hope you encounter God in your day-to-day this week. I'm certainly going to be praying for you. I ask that you pray for me as I prepare my message for Good Friday and for Easter. And I ask that you pray for those who will venture into not just our church, but church all around the county, because on Easter, that's what they do. That they would be captured by this idea of the risen Jesus Christ and how they would see that he wants more from them and from their life than just Christmas and Easter each year. I hope you have a wonderful Holy Week, and if I can serve you in any way, feel free to reach out.